I like to smell the pine. And I'm satisfied that we got it started and we got it finished and it's still standing and people seem to enjoy coming here. So there's a lot of satisfaction in that.
Guy Paulson in the mid-1990s was nearing retirement age, and he wanted a retirement project, I think. Stav churches are really fascinating pieces of architecture. Around the year 1000, the Vikings convert to Christianity. The Scandinavians, the Norse culture, give up Odin, Thor, Loki, their old gods, and they have to build churches for this new religion they joined up with. Everywhere else at this time in Europe, it was the age of the giant stone cathedrals being built up to the sky. In Scandinavia, this was a culture of carpenters, they're woodworkers. So these are wooden translations of medieval stone cathedrals. These are called stav churches or stave churches because of the construction technique. The word stav, S-T-A-V, in Scandinavian languages means a vertical piece of wood, an up and down piece of wood. The scary Scandinavian barbarians become Europeans. And we're watching that happen in a building right here. So even though this doesn't look like any building we've ever been in before, maybe it looks more like Lord of the Rings or something, it's still a medieval basilica church. It's got the nave where the people stand, and everybody stood for church back then. You take a step up to the altar, where the altar is, that's the chancel. It's got a row of windows called the clerestory. This is the recipe to make a medieval church. It's just made out of wood.
The idea came many years before I retired. In fact, sort of drove my wife nuts because I wouldn't drop it. But about 10 years or so before that, and you ask, why did I get interested? Well, there's a variety of reasons. Number one, my father was probably most instrumental. He was born in Norway, about 100 kilometers or so north and east of the Hopperstead Church in a place called Jostedal. And I started reading books about stav churches, and the idea didn't go away, so I figured the time had come to retire and do something. I retired in '95, and most of '96 was working with architects, getting plans from the Norwegians, and deciding how we were going to go about it. Actual building on site, I started carving for all the parts that had to be incorporated as we build it. I started that in about January of '97, and then I worked steady on that all through '97, and then in the summer of '97 they started building on site, and then the basic structure was built and completed in about June of '98, and that's when the dedication was. So it was about 5.5, 6 years from beginning to end.
On the inside, in the nave where the people are, there's a beautifully carved baldachin. Baldachins are kind of canopies over altars. There's 4 heads carved on it. We have Jesus on top, probably the king and queen of Norway below that, and the 4th person, we don't know who he is, but we know he's a monk from his haircut. The paintings tell the Christmas story. And the chancel, where the priest would stand, is the leper's window. If you're sick, you're not allowed inside to get everybody else sick, but you don't want to stay home from church because if you're about to die of the plague, you want those sins checked off your record before you go. So you come to get your communion through the drive-through window. Outside, you'll see a lot of dragons mixed in with the Christian crosses. And you know, if you tell a Viking to put a gargoyle on top of their church, they put the dragon off the prow of a Viking ship. So they have very Viking gargoyles on the outside. The front door carvings took Guy Paulson about a year to carve. Putting the church here, adding it to the Emkans Viking ship has really made this an international destination for Norwegian American heritage. We are a little county historical society in northwest Minnesota, but we're more than that now. We have busloads of Norwegians coming here. Just last week, there was a busload of Norwegians that I toured through this. We have so many Norwegians coming in that we have our films subtitled in Norwegian for them.
We've had quite a few visitors here from Norway. There was one family that came here and their daughter was married here, and they were very complimentary, as Norwegians usually are. I think they appreciate it. It is what it is. We did what we did, and we were happy with it. Had a lot of fun building it. If they didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be happy about it, but they say they are. I survived the deal, and it worked out. Yeah, it worked out really well.
Craftsmanship isn't dead. I don't get tired of being in this building. I look at these, I look at how it's put together. I'm a wood carver myself, a woodworker myself, and so it's really an inspiration to me. Mr. Paulson is an inspiration. It's American ingenuity. Machines can't do better than a guy with a chisel and a mallet who knows how to use it.
Funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008. And by the members of Prairie Public.